Yes, you guys, welcome back. Euro 2020 coverage does continue on the channel. Of course, expect a lot more to be coming out. Today, I'll be discussing our upcoming Group D game against Croatia because before kickoff, we've got some big news surrounding our potential lineup in the game versus Croatia. Some massive surprises right now on socials, right now on Twitter. Everyone's absolutely losing their minds collectively. And, of course, you have to discuss some of the big news that has come out beforehand. It's a mazza. And before I continue on, you guys, I want to quickly remind you that I have released a top 10 young players to follow and watch during this Euros. I put a ton of effort and time into it. I think you guys should like it. And hopefully, I'll put you onto certain players as well. So, without wasting any more time, big news is we got news surrounding what the lineup should be looking like for this upcoming game. The massive surprises are Trippier will be playing as a left back in the game. Yes, we have Ben Chilwell, we have Luke Shaw, two of the best left backs in European football, and we're using one of our full right backs. I guess we had to use one of them somehow. On top of that, there is no Jack Grealish starting in this game either. We are going to have a potential front three and behind Harry Kane that does consist of Mount, Sterling and Phil Foden as well. In midfield, Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice too. And in goal, I'm assuming it's going to be Pickford. So yeah, this is interesting news. As you can see beside me, there's like two different lineups. Maybe it's going to be a 4-3-3. Maybe it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. We have seen variations used throughout. And I guess the first thing is does Southgate know what he's doing? We got news beforehand that regardless of how we perform in the Euros, Southgate's job will remain with the national team. I know some people will have their own thoughts and opinions behind that because a lot of us do feel at times that with all the talent that this country is producing, maybe coaching is the bottleneck. We're producing players that know how to play in different systems, strong tactically, great technically too, play the game at pace. We're producing real class players. And do we necessarily have a system that gets the best out of them? But anyway, let's analyze and look at the lineup and system. Could there be a method behind the madness? Of course, there's a possibility that with Ben and with Luke, maybe they need a bit more time before they're fully ready to start. But also, let's try and look at things a bit fairly instead of just, losing our minds straight away. One of the big things with this tournament is that you can use 5 subs. And if you think about it, effectively you can bring on half a new team in game. So it'll be interesting to see how managers decide to utilize their squads in the tournament. I get the impression that maybe Southgate could be thinking, you know what, I want to start the game with a lineup like this. Maybe the plan is to really, congest Croatia in midfields. It seems like maybe it could be to, build up down that left-hand side, keep the spaces open down the right-hand side where we can use the pace of maybe, Raheem Sterling or Kyle Walker to create the overlap, to run in behind, to stretch the play. That could be a possibility. Croatia have a very strong midfield in Brozovic, Modric, and Kovacic as well. So, so could the argument be that if this was a possession battle, England won't be coming on top. It's interesting to see, but at least we have the options to come off the bench. And as the game does open up, as it does go on, when you have your Grealishes you can rely upon, maybe more attacking players as well in Rashford, more midfield threat, maybe a left back to actually end the game too. Who knows what could happen, but I don't know. Personally, it's a bit disappointing to not see maybe Ben starting for England. I do think, in my opinion, he is the best English left back, and that sort of discredits to Luke Shaw. I think we have two outstanding, amazing ones, and it kind of reminds you of other issues that national teams have faced, like Brazil, when they used to have Dani Alves, Maicon, etc., etc. Not saying they're on the same level, but trying to draw some comparisons between how hard it is to really decide on who is going to be in that final team. But at the same time, when I make these videos, I also have that self-awareness where I'm like, I'm not an England manager. I'm not a football manager. I'm not a coach. I'm a fan literally on an armchair or a computer chair right now. So I need to have a bit of perspective before I start, saying this guy's an idiot, that guy's an idiot, etc., etc. I guess the only thing we can take solace in is the fact that we have the options on the bench to affect the game. Let's hope this team starts out strong against Croatia. For me, I'm more interested to know if it's going to be like a flat midfield 4-3-3, or if it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. If it was a 4-2-3-1, Sterling starting, his season has been a bit disappointing. But one thing he does have is that pace, and in a game like this against Croatia's back line, you want to have players that can make those runs in behind and can stretch them too. So maybe that's how Southgate is hoping to use a team like this. You know, if he flops, we have Grealish, we have Jadon Sancho that can come on and affect things in game. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Southgate's plan is going to be with how we play today. I think Mason Mount's role in this team is going to be quite interesting. So obviously this season under Thomas Tuchel, he did play in a cam role, which was kind of like a /10/8 role. You know, a lot of times he was dropping deeper into midfield to form that back three, and you know, that's the type of tactical flexibility that a Mason Mount can bring to the team, because that defensive balance and shape still remains, and it's important and crucial to have players like this in your first 11, because in football, balance like that is always key to winning games. So watching him is going to be really interesting to see how he, you know, links up to the rest. We know that he's very good at doing that. You know, these guys, you know, your Fodens, Mounts, etc., they play together a lot of times at a national team level. So, you know, let's see what happens there. But to move on, now we've all seen the team that Cesc Fabregas would play. In behind Harry Kane, he had Mount, Grealish, Foden. That's a lot of technique, that's a lot of source, that's a lot of play. But, you know, we haven't seen too many attacking lineups like that. And I think that when you actually look at previous games played in friendlies, you know, during the qualifiers, etc., it does paint a picture in regards to what you should expect tactically. And maybe that should be what the discussion is. Why is it that we have so many technical players, yet we never seem to really believe in building a system around them? It always seems to be you know, defense first at times. You know, I think with the Euros, one thing I really like about the tournament is just how, you know, the depth and strength, essentially. So many nations have such strong quality squads that it is quite hard to, you know, really predict who is guaranteed to win their games, etc. As the tournament gets into its latter stages, we're definitely going to learn a lot more. But, you know, we haven't seen a utilization of systems like that incorporating many attacking players. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's something that we have to discuss and something that we should expect more, because we are producing great technique. The players we're producing now, we're not really seen back in the day. We have even more talent to be coming through the ranks at our under 21 level, under 18 level, under 16 level. England's national team could be absolutely scary in the next few years. But, you know, for me, we've got to start from a platform where we, you know, rely on what we have and trust our technique. But at the same time, this isn't an opportunity to lose faith in the team. As I said, think of the game over 90 minutes. For me, the vibe is that, you know, you have certain teams that start and certain teams that end. It's not necessarily the best players start the game. It could be the more well-suited ones to start for tactical reasons. I think that's one thing to maybe open our minds to. Ideally, I'd want to see a team that has Reece James and Ben Chilwell in. I think they've been two of the best fullbacks in the Prem and in Europe as well. Outstanding in the Champions League. We played against top opposition in Atleti, Real Madrid, Porto, Man City. This wasn't just a joke. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm still going to remain hopeful. I don't think I'm going to use this as an opportunity now to be negative and lose faith in the team and the setup and the preparation. I'm sure there's a game plan behind this, and I'm going to keep an open mind to see what it is as I watch the game later at 2 p.m. But yeah, you guys, that's the news surrounding what's happening right now. Yeah, it's very puzzling to a lot of people. I guess we'll see if Southgate was right in the end. So on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.